Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan Dang and I'm currently a freshman in college, and today I'm going to be talking about why I like college better than high school. I was never the biggest fan of high school. I know a lot of people talked about those years of being some of the best years of their life, going to parties, hanging out with friends, making memories. But for me, high school was filled with a lot of stress and anxiety about college, about my grades, and about test scores. So basically all of high school, I was never able to actually relax. Despite that, I still enjoyed my high school experience. I made a lot of friends. I enjoyed participating on my cross country and track teams, and I looked forward to going to debates. As many of you know, basically every single US college has sent their students home and made their classes online now because of the coronavirus. When news came about that at my college, I was devastated, and it really surprised me how sad I was about that, especially since I've only been at college for about 6 months. I wasn't even half as sad when high school ended. Because of my reaction and how I surprised myself about how much I love college, I thought I would sit down today and talk about why I love college so much more than high school. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please make sure to leave it down below and I'll be sure to give you guys a response. Thanks for watching. First of all, I'm going to talk about academic life in college and why I like that better than high school. First reason why academics is better in college than in high school is because you get to take classes that you're actually interested in. There's a set curriculum in high school. So even though you take GEs in college, it's so widespread that you can basically take things that are in your interest and not forced upon you, which is how I felt high school was. In high school, everybody was kind of on the same track, taking US history, government, econ, math, English, etc. So you ended up seeing the same faces every single day in most of your classes. But in college, because there's endless classes to take, the chances of you having the same class with the same people every single day is very limited. This is because everybody is taking whatever they like in college and not everybody's interests line up. Last semester, the classes I took were just random classes that I found the topics interesting when I read about it and decided to take them. So I took a class on fire, a class on trademark laws, a yoga class, my English class, and I also took a class about the intro into the letters and science college at my school. This semester, I decided to take other classes that might be interesting to me, such as environmental design, philosophy, English again, because I have to take that, and also cognitive science. So as you can see, all of these topics are so different, but they're all interesting to me, which was why I decided to take them. I love this fact about college because you're truly able to take whatever you want to take and not something set by the school. In fact, last summer when I had to pick out my classes for college, I was so confused on what to choose because I thought that they would at least give us some kind of guideline, but they literally just threw us in and told us to pick our classes, which was such a crazy concept to me. So in the end, I love the freedom of classes and choosing what you want to learn in college. That doesn't really exist in high school. The second point in academics that I'll be discussing is that the fact that your peers are also really interested and engaged in the class. Something that really bothered me in high school was that I felt like there was always at least one or two students in the class who very vividly and vocalized the fact that they did not want to be there. In college, however, everyone wants to be there. We are paying for our education and we're there for a reason. However, I know that sometimes not everybody wants to be there. So in college, if you don't want to be there, you don't have to be there. Nothing's required like it is in high school. It's your fate and up to you. So if people don't want to be there, they're not going to show up to class. I think that the fact that everybody wants to be there and everybody is so engaged makes the learning environment much better. For me at least. The next point in academics I'll be discussing is professors. Professors in college have spent their life dedicated to learning whatever subject they're teaching, and they're so passionate about it, which shows. Their passion shines through, making the subject, even if you're not interested in it that much, so much more interesting and engaging. Next up, I'm going to talk about class sizes. The scariest thing for me when thinking about college when I was back in high school was class size. I was so intimidated by the fact that there were these huge lecture halls. But I personally actually really like the big lecture halls now, which I did not think I would like back in high school. Do note, however, not all classes are big lecture halls and there's also smaller classes. But I just kind of like you sitting there and be able to learn not just from the teacher, but from everybody else in the lecture hall. In addition, there are discussion sections, which is where you can get a more intimate and detailed teaching of the lesson from your student teacher. The final point for academics that I'll be talking about is the fact that you get to set up your day how you like. In college, it's up to you how you want to put your classes, when you want to put them, and however you want to set up your day. In high school, it's a basic 8 or 9 to 3-ish p.m., which was kind of doesn't work for everybody. So in college, you get to pick if you want to have early classes or late classes, if you want to have classes back to back or an hour break between them, or however you like. So I like that there's really freedom in choosing how you want to set up your classes in college. That doesn't really exist in high school because everybody's on the same track. Now we'll be discussing the social aspects of college I like better than high school. So first off, I'm going to be talking about the freedom in college. College is so amazing because of all the freedom that you're getting. It's kind of a crazy concept because even if you're not constricted or really limited in high school or at home, it's just different in college because you never have to ask or let your parents know about permission. You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want, and there's no really constraints on what you do. Obviously, you shouldn't take this for granted or abuse this power, but it's just kind of nice knowing that you are able to do what you want when you want. There's no obligation to check in with anybody, although it can be good to have a buddy system sometimes. And of course, there's the whole staying up late and no curfew, and basically just doing what you want. So what I really liked about this was that if I wanted to go to a friend's dorm late at night, or if I wanted to go out and eat or do things like that, you can't really do that at home because you can't really just go out and grab food at 11 o'clock at night with your friend who lives 5 miles away at home. But in college, it's easy if they live in the dorms with you or live close to you, etc. The next point I'll be talking about is how easy it is to meet up with friends in college. So to add on to my last point, it's easy to meet up with friends in college because we're all so close in proximity to one another. Especially for me, my freshman year, this past year, most of my friends lived in the same dorm as me or in a dorm that was close to me, a block or two. So this made it really easy to just meet up with friends whenever we wanted. I really like how in college, you don't really have to plan as much. So in high school, if you wanted to hang out with a friend, you guys would have to plan it, coordinate it, figure out when to meet up. Versus in college, if you are just studying and then you want a break, you can just go knock on your friend's door to talk to them. Or your roommates, if you guys are all just in the room, you can hang out and that's already hanging out with friends. Or if you are studying for a class together with a friend and you guys want to take a break, it's easy to do those kind of things. Or if you want to go to lunch with a friend. It's just easier to hang out with friends without so much planning in college as it is in high school because everybody's so close to one another. So next, I'll be talking about parties in college. I personally didn't really go to any parties in high school just because, as I mentioned, I was so stressed out. And I feel like also in high school, parties are kind of a cliquish thing, or you have to be in with the crowd. I don't know if that's true, but that's just kind of the perception that I got from it. Versus in college, it's not like that at all. Parties in college are really, really fun in my opinion. So this can mean frat parties, so going out with your friends and having fun and meeting people and dancing around and singing. Or this can mean parties as in going to somebody's dorm and hanging out and having kind of more of a kickback kind of party. So parties are great to say the least, and it's a great way to meet people, to relax and have fun. And the thing I like about parties in college is that I feel like it's not as cliquish and it's not as secretive as it was in high school. In addition, it's just easier to hang out and have kind of low-key parties with friends in college because we all have our own dorm and space and we don't have to ask for permission from our parents to have the house or anything like that. Next up is routine. So the thing that frustrates me most about being home right now from college is the fact that I don't really have a routine here. So in college, you kind of go to classes and then over time in college, you kind of get part of a routine. So you know when you'll eat dinner, who you'll eat dinner with, when you'll work out, who you'll work out with, etc. So it was just kind of a nice routine that you have in college. Versus in high school, it's kind of more like I'll go to school from 8 to 3 and then I'll go to cross country practice or whatever practice you're going for from 3 to 5 and then just go home and do your homework. Versus in college, you can kind of create a fun routine for yourself, such as on Fridays I go shopping, or on Tuesday nights I watch a movie or things like that because you have so much free time in college. And finally, for kind of the social aspect of college, I guess this would fall under, is the fact that everything is so accessible and everything's kind of walking transportation in college. So college is kind of like a little bubble where everybody is in it and everything is near it. And a lot of towns are kind of broadcasted as college towns, so without the college, there's not much going on. So I really like how college, you can really walk everywhere. Versus, at least for me, where I live, you have to drive places. If you want to go to the supermarket, you have to drive to your friend's house, you have to drive to high school. Versus in college, you can just walk to your college, you can just walk over to your friend's house, or you can just walk to the supermarket. So that's my whole video on why I like college better than high school. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about college or high school or anything, any suggestions for others, any comments about anything, please make sure to leave it down below and I'll be sure to give you guys a reply. I hope you guys are staying safe during this time, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.